Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the July 24th meeting of the Board of Selectmen. Mr. Titlebaum will be acting as clerk.
Got to get a motion and a vote.
I make a motion that Peter is the clerk.
By necessity, I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Now we're good.
3-0-0.
Roll call. President, Selectman Bruce, Chairman Slavin, Clerk Pro Tem, Titlebaum,
Oh, God.
and Town Council. No, he's not here.
No town council.
He's invisible tonight. Hi, Rich. Town Administrator.
Richard Tillman's the empty chair.
Empty chair.
The missing man formation.
Okay. Next is Pledge of Allegiance. You win.
Oh, thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to
Who stands one
nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I don't think it was me. Probably you.
I don't think so. I haven't eaten enough. Announcements. Does anybody have any?
Actually, it's Mary
Bruce.
first. Your turn?
You go ahead, Alan.
No, you go ahead.
No.
You don't have any?
I might have one.
Go ahead.
You don't have any.
I have a whole bunch.
You have a whole bunch.
So go ahead, do yours.
I didn't see a folder for those.
I don't need a folder.
You don't have any memory, so you need a folder. Anyway,
Not a senior moment right now.
once again, the second annual Meet Me at the Tremont event will be August 25th, Saturday, at the Tremont Nail Factory Freight Building, which is a nice, long, low building down by the water, from 5:30 to 8:30. Tickets are available online at the Cape Cod Canal Region Chamber of Commerce's website and also the Gallery Consignment Shop on Main Street. It was a great event last year. We had over 200 people in the building, and we hope to surpass that this year. So looking forward to seeing everyone out there, and that's the only announcement I have.
Okay. First off, I'd like to thank everybody who was involved with the Wareham Community Associates for their annual lobster bake, which basically raises funds for at least 4 students for college. And we appreciate also Tony Zecco providing the marina for the facility itself. The Blues Festival is on the 4th, which is coming up shortly. It's, I think, the 25th or 26th year now. Also, on the 11th, of course, is the Cape Verdean Festival. And I think the Mass Pan Am Challenge, I think, is on the 4th also coming through town. So be prepared that on that particular Saturday, traffic is going to be a little touchy. The bicyclists get touchy, and so don't the cars. Hopefully, we won't have the two meet together in the wrong way. Next, we also have the Democratic Party has their summer event over at the VFW ballpark. I believe it's like 12 to 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I believe they serve chicken or lobster. I'm not sure what the fee is to go there, but all the different candidates on the Democratic side who are running will be there, probably from the whole state, actually, I would assume. Don't Trash Wareham. I just got a note from them saying they're looking for people to adopt more areas. Rather than do the coastal event this year, they're looking to maybe do something in the fall for the whole town. So they're looking for people to step up to adopt an area that has trash where they live. And let's see if we get anything else there. You already got Meet Me at Tremont. So I think that's it for now on that one. Next we have board comments. Smiley.
I have none.
Okay, no gas. Anything from you?
Nope.
Okay. On 8/18, WCTV will feature the chair and also Mr. Titlebaum talking about Tremont Nail.
Maybe switching those around.
Well, she sent me a note saying 8/18 would both be there.
Actually, it's the 15th.
No, mine says the 18th. Either way, on the
We'll
8th,
figure it out.
on the 8th, I'll be there talking about Tremont and also the bathhouse. We also have, just so people know, other interests for the Tremont Nail property have been expressed also for businesses just recently. We have also a piece where we had people come in asking about a light or something at Swifts Beach Road and Route 6. The numbers didn't work for us as far as the state was concerned when we did the traffic study. But in the meantime, Marion was able to procure a couple permanent speed signs, which are basically, radar activated. You drive up and this says 40-mile-an-hour speed limit, and it only tells you how fast you're speeding, actually. They were able to procure those from Mass DOT, so we're looking to see if we could possibly get the same thing for that particular section of road on both sides, and also down Route 6 and 28, where we do have a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit, which nobody's ever done in their whole life. These signs, normally what they do is, they won't guarantee the speeding will stop, but the initial response from anybody seeing the speed on front of them, and it's like 10 miles over, we usually take their foot off the gas automatically. So it might help a little bit. And we hope that actually can happen. It's not a guarantee, but we're trying. Also, Good Energy, which was trying to wrap us in with a rate for electricity, which would reduce cost, is still trying to get us wrapped into the original SERPED group, and they haven't been able to yet, and that's why this thing has been sitting for, and this is aggregation energy for any town resident or business, and I'm very disappointed that we did this through town meeting, and it's still sitting there because they can't get the state to agree to allow us in. And the last thing I have is there was a show in New Bedford this past weekend. It was a food truck show. And I was trying to go there, Sandy and I, and we couldn't get within a half a mile of the place. It was completely, not just sold out, but the traffic was unbelievable. And Alan has no patience or sense of humor. So Sandy looked at I and I said, yeah, we're turning around and going home. But I think for Tremont Nail, that might be something worthwhile looking into. We have the parking lot, and food trucks are a big thing these days. People, go there and whatever, and I was surprised it's the second one they've done. And, I mean, they had bus service to wheel people in and out and everything. So it might be something worthwhile. And that's it for today.
Okey-doke. Next up, appointments, reappointments, and interviews.
I'll take care of this mess if you want. Oh, yeah, the one for Eleanor? I'm sorry, it didn't come up on my phone. I have it.
I'll read it.
Read it for me. It's full of-
Okay, spaghetti dinner, Friends of Wareham Veterans Council, Inc. This is going to be at the Peer View Restaurant Thursday, August 16th, from 6 till 8 p.m., $10 per person, $5 for kids under 8. There's a cash bar, drawing items will be offered. All are invited to join and see the good being done by the Friends. And thanks to Stevie Baptiste for offering his restaurant for this.
Again, this is for the Friends of the Veterans, and that group there is not allowed to raise money and do things for the veterans where the Veterans Council cannot raise money. Next up, we have the appointments, reappointments, interviews. This is, reason this is on the agenda, simple English, I screwed up. I was under the assumption that we had, bad word to use also, 11 members for the Veterans Council, because that's what our header said we were going through to make sure we had all applications in. Actually, the header should have been 9 full-time regular members and 2 associates. Because of that, we made the assumption again that we had 4 openings rather than 2, and one of the openings actually was Jimmy Bruce, who decided to step up and rejoin again. So technically, we only really had 1. We appointed 3. So we had 2 that can't technically go as it's set up right now. Therefore, to solve this issue in the cleanest way possible, rather than make everybody resign and go back again, is simply ask this board if I can have a motion to change the membership, since we have control, from 9 regular 3-year members to 11.
So moved.
This is permanent?
Permanent for now.
Okay. I
Need a second.
second.
For discussion, Mary? Go ahead.
Nope, I have nothing.
Nope, this works.
Yep.
Again, I apologize, but this, to me, is the easiest way to fix the issue, rather than have somebody sitting there, being upset that they were appointed and then they can't actually serve.
Yep.
And since we have control of the membership on this, I think this is the best way. If
Yep.
down the line they have an issue trying to get quorums, where they need 6 people out of the 11, then we can take a look at it later on. Thank you. The license and hearing,
Call for a vote.
I'm sorry, all those in favor?
Aye.
Spacey today. Opposed, abstained?
300.
Thank
Now
you.
it's official.
It's like having 3 chairmen here at the same time. It's beautiful. Thank you for the laugh. I appreciate it. Don't get too many.
Okay,
The
licenses and permits.
hearing, just so people understand, this is the second time around. I feel bad. Karen has missed again. Mailed out the required notices to abutters, but she mailed them out. And unfortunately, you have to send them out by certified mail. So they went out by mail, and therefore, it's not legal. So we'll be back sometime in mid-August trying this again. Next, we have donations from Deborah Jean Rose. Just, Deborah served on certain committees over the years, Cemetery Commission recently. She's told us many times that I can't find affordable housing here in Wareham. I'm probably going to have to move to find a place for like assisted housing or whatever. And unfortunately, the time has come, so we will miss her. And she has given a gift which you can read.
Yeah, I'll read a letter. It's from Deborah Jean Rose, 10 Juniper Street, Wareham. It's addressed to Town of Wareham Board of Selectmen, Mr. Alan Slavin, Chairman, 54 Marion Road, Wareham, regarding cemetery gift. Dear Mr. Slavin, please allow me the pleasure of making a gift to the Town of Wareham by paying the invoice attached to have the new rules and regulations printed into a brochure. As you are aware, I shall be relocating soon and would like to offer this donation as my own contribution to the Town of Wareham and its residents. I have enjoyed acting as a cemetery commissioner, and after living in Wareham for so many years, I will be leaving with many happy memories. Regards, Deborah Jean Rose. Thank you very much, Deborah, for this generous gift. I move that the Board of Selectmen accept the gift from Deborah Jean Rose in the amount of $410 to pay for the printing of the cemetery rules book.
Second.
Motion by Peter, second by Mary. Any questions? None heard. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? 300.
Yes, and I would ask the chairman to send a letter acknowledging this generous gift from Deborah Jean.
Thank you. Next, we have basically the performance bond from All-American Assisted Living. This particular bond was put in place for the project. Charlie Rowley, our acting engineer at times, basically has inspected everything at the property and the roads in front and met with the planning board and signed off on it. The planning board, I believe, voted probably 2 weeks ago now to go ahead and release the bond. So I'll need a motion for that.
Move that the town release the performance bond from All-American Assisted Living, 300 Rosebrook Way.
Second.
Motion by Peter, second by Mary. Any questions on the board? None heard. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? 300. Next, we have the projects that the board was going to take up individually. Patrick is not here.
Quorum again.
No, but we have the signed bylaw, which is Patrick said he wanted to do some stuff with. So he'll have to move forward that, and that will have to go to Ken over at the, as Director of Planning and Economic Development, because it will have to come through the planning board itself. But we can basically work on something, we can submit it. Mary wants to do the trash, if I remember, the cameras.
Oh, yeah.
So what I would suggest is look and see where people have got grants from. I can help with SERPAT or some other organizations
Okay.
to direct you to see whether we can find a grant for that or not. And you're working on Tremont.
I am, but there's something else that popped up, and maybe this is more for town meeting. And it's a complicated enough issue that maybe it requires a study committee to be set up by town meeting. But it's this whole idea of the solar energy projects. You know, a lot of people are concerned that we're losing habitat, we're clearing land for these. A lot of people have expressed a preference to try to work to rezone so that we can put them on top of, for example, flat buildings, places like schools, you know, in Wareham Village, something like the Cornwell's building, you know, depending, of course, whether they can support the weight and things like that. So I think that's something we should look into.
Well, I can sit down with Ken with Derek's approval, because that, again, would go through the planning board to actually come before town meeting. But,
Well, if they just do the hearing, anybody can write the laws.
well, they're supposed to.
Well, if we wait for the planning board to write the laws, we'll be moldering in our graves.
I think it already, because of what's going on in Marion and a couple of towns already, the stuff has been written and done. I think it's a very quick fix to do. We were supposed to do this a while ago on the solar, and it didn't get done. So,
Well, there's just something to look at. Again, maybe it's more for town meeting than a special project for me or anything like that, but I just think it's something
town
that,
meeting's going to have to approve it because it's a change in the
Yeah.
zoning laws.
but I think it's something we should pay attention to. I mean, to the extent that we've got all, you know, dozens of acres of flat rooftops, you know, why not stick them there?
All right, well, you want to reach out to Ken?
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. I'll just continue working on some of the other projects that we have that are, we need some state help, whatever else. And the one I'm working right now is Merchant's Way, to go back there and clean up the shrubbery and brush that have basically taken the view completely away of stuff that was cleaned up 4 years ago. And there's a few other things, but we'll let those go till they're more solid. We all set there?
I guess so.
Okay. Any other town business?
No, sir.
When do I bring my brush cutter there?
No, we're going to actually have the railroad do it,
Oh, they're gonna do it.
because they have the authority to go in there. They don't need permits or anything.
This is aggressive.
Well, we wouldn't need permits either. It's the permitting issue runs with the property, not with the performer of the
Yeah,
cutting.
but see, if the train runs you over, it's a problem. If the train runs those guys over, it's fine.
Okay. Some people would say it wouldn't be a problem if I got run over by the train anyway, so, you know, hey.
Yeah, not him necessarily.
I hear the sound of chainsaw blades being sharpened, right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I can still run pretty fast.
Volunteer.
Not fast enough. You're old.
I won't outrun a train.
I don't think so.
I don't have any 48-hour business.
Mary?
I have none.
I have none. Mr. Sullivan, it's your turn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This morning, Mr. Menard and myself met with members of the Cranberry Growers Association, as well as cranberry growers over at Tremont Pond. They're looking to help the town in our woes with that dam. It has been raised about 1.5 feet right now. While we were raising it, one of the metal bars did come off and get caught right in there. So when people ask us, so whether it's a simple fix or not, it isn't. But I appreciate they're looking to step up and help us, and not just for the immediate, but looking to come up with a long-term solution. So it's very, very kind, and it's nice to see people working together. So we appreciate those efforts. We received one response to the 505 Main Street, AKA Old Town offices. It was in the amount, they were responsive, it was in the amount of $125,000, and it's Wareham Community TV. So unless I hear otherwise from the board, we will start to enter into negotiations with them.
The town meeting article did authorize the Board of Selectmen to enter into those negotiations, but typically, that means you.
Yeah,
So-
comes back for us to affirm.
Yeah, we just sign off on it, so go ye forth.
Whenever you're ready, when you decide to go ahead and present us with a contract, that's all.
Okay.
Should have a signing ceremony. It's kind of a big deal.
Yes, it is.
Give them a permanent home.
Finally.
You're still on.
All right.
You got anything else?
I officially received Mr. Carlozzi's letter of recognition, and even though it's Carlozzi, I will call him Carlozzi to the end, because that's how we started. It is a loss for the community. I really appreciate all the work he did and how he approached his work. It was a pleasure working with him, and, I think it speaks to the quality of the person that he's being picked up by East Providence, which is a library. Yeah, it's a massive budget library, and we were lucky to have him for this time. So thank him for all his time and hard work.
Yes, he did a great job.
I think it's especially important to understand that he came in a difficult situation. And, the state, Peter and I had actually gone to the the library with, I think, 4 or 5 members of the trustees originally. And when we were there, they told us basically,
We were terrible people.
no, something happened before that we had nothing to do with, and they were going to pay us back, basically. But I won't go into the details of that. But the bottom line was, they told Peter and I directly, one of the actual members, I think the vice chair at the time, it's best if Wareham stays out for 3 years, gets its act together, as they put it, comes back with a new, much lower average dollar amount, which means they could easily qualify to be recertified again. And we basically followed exactly what they told us they wanted us to do, although the public really never either understood or accepted what was going on. And Michael just worked the program, worked with Derek, probably got more out of Derek than mostly everybody else ever has, and just kept at it. And he did a great job, and it is a huge loss because whoever comes in has a tough job coming in to keep that going. And we really need to thank him for what he did. He's leaving, going somewhere else, but he's making sure the library gets certified before he goes.
Yep.
Everything's in place, so again, we owe him a debt.
Yeah,
Thank you.
he kept that place afloat.
I did accuse him of being a witch doctor, because nobody's ever gotten that much out of me, so.
Once in a while you slip. Not often.
Next, and I'd ask for, whenever you want to do it, if it's outside of tonight's agenda, to accept the gift from Pharmacanis in the amount of $30,000.
We can do that if you want. Need a motion?
Yes.
Smiley, deal clerk.
Okay, move to accept the gift.
Second.
Do you want to explain a little bit what it is there before we vote?
Yeah, that's the, they were Brighton Health Advocates that are the originally Compassionate Care. That's down on, what can I think, but the medicinal marijuana facility. And it took a lot longer for them to get up and running than they had anticipated. And it's a real nice, good faith gesture from them to donate $30,000 as a gift to the town. So we really appreciate that and hope much more to follow.
Any other questions from the board?
No.
I have no questions.
Have a motion, have a second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, 300.
Thanks.
Also, Mr.
Thanks.
Sullivan, if we can, sometime in the next month, I don't think we've got financial information for the quarters that we usually get, because you've been busy with a lot of other things. But we should be close to year end and stuff.
Yeah, I expect to get the, I know that the June revenues aren't, I expect to get the final expenditures through June. That doesn't include, obviously, the journal entries and
Yeah.
things like that. So I should have them by the end of this week.
Good, thank you. Okay. Mary, any reports,
No, sir?
committees? Peter?
Nah, I'll hold off till next week.
Okay. Cemetery Committee met last week. They will be presenting the updated rates and some changes. It'll probably go to town meeting again for some adjustments. They have a particular gentleman who's been their consultant, doing a really great job trying to get everything up, so we subsidize some of the burials, but not to the amount that we have been, because the amount that we've been paying out of pocket, not being reimbursed, is really high, causing issues. Also, the SERPED is doing more drone projects, so when you see drones flying over Wareham over the next month, please don't shoot them down. They're there for a reason. They're basically going to be helping us with a bunch of different projects, and they will be easily seen. And that's all I have. Do we have any bills or anything?
Yeah, we have an invoice from Attorney Bowen for his monthly bill.
Oh. Can we reduce it since he isn't here?
I don't think that will go over.
Okay.
Professional services through July 20th, 2018, total $15,625 and 1 penny.
Love that penny.
Second.
Motion by Peter, second by Mary. Any questions? None heard. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? 300.
Okay, you want anything else? Ready to go?
It's those famous last words.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
300. Thank you very much. Sorry it's a very short meeting. We expected a little more, but that's what it is. Good night, Wareham.